This is I appreciate Lisa Lynch asked me to do this, and I'm really pleased. It's a real honor to introduce Wilma Liebman, who's an American lawyer and a civil servant who's best known for serving as a member of the NLRB. She was designated chair of the board by President Barack Obama on January 20th, 2009, and became the second woman to lead the NLRB. And by the way, President Obama did this on his first day in office. So he had his priorities right. Wilma was born in Philadelphia. She has a BA with honors from Barnard and a JD with honors from the George Washington University Law School. And immediately upon graduation, she was appointed as staff attorney at the NLRB, National Labor Relations Board, until 1980. And then became the senior attorney representing the Teamsters, 1980 to 1989, and then general counsel of the bricklayers for 3 years. I met Wilma in 1994 when she became special assistant to the director of FMCS. And during that time, she served on the mediator task force on the future of FMCS, which was a group established to recommend a new vision for the agency. And in 1995, Wilma was promoted to be deputy director of FMCS. And for 2 years, she held that position overseeing the agency's operations, including supervising the heads of alternative dispute resolution, arbitrator review board, international, and also our labor management grants program. And she, of course, provided her expertise and advice to the director regarding major labor disputes, including, I might add, I think you were involved in a dispute involving Barnard, her old alma mater. And I think she was successful. In 1997, President Bill Clinton appointed her as a member of the NLRB in October, and the Senate confirmed her on November 14th, something they don't do as often now. She was reappointed by President George W. Bush in December 2002 and reappointed for a third term in August 2006, which was set to expire August 2011. From 2001 to 2008, Wilma was in the minority and wrote wonderful dissents. Somewhat upset about overruling of certain precedents, and she was outspoken and an outspoken and optimistic defender of collective bargaining and the NLRA's underlying policy of encouraging collective bargaining. As chair, she spoke to Congress and when they were going to revise or update the National Labor Relations Act to recognize the realities of our changed workplace. She has taught since leaving the NLRB. She has been a visiting professor at a number of schools recognized here, including the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and Cornell's ILR and Law School. She is a much sought-after speaker at conferences, and I remember seeing her as organizer of the 75th anniversary of the National Labor Relations Act, which was at George Washington University Law School in the spring of 2012. She gives back to her schools, to her people, to the collective bargaining community. She has spoken eloquently about the need for changes in the National Labor Relations Act, and of course important to this group, she was an executive board member of IRRA in 2004, and she's also a member of the College of Labor and Employment Lawyers. Just a couple of other things. I think of Wilma as one of the most fierce defenders of human rights and collective bargaining. She's a brilliant lawyer, an eloquent speaker, and professionally savvy, an astute writer, and she has the courage of her convictions. A very dedicated civil servant and a credit to government service, both at FMCS and also at the National Labor Relations Board. Other awards include the Peggy Browning Award and too many to numerous to mention. But a couple of other facts about Wilma. When she left the NLRB, the LERA IRRA Employment Policy Research Network went bananas and talked about, thank you, Wilma Liebman. And I just want to quote two quotes from that. Tom Koken said, all in the labor management profession, we owe Wilma a big thank you for carrying the torch for fair enforcement of our national labor policy through some very difficult times. And if and when political leaders come around to engaging in a civil and fact and experience-based discussion, I'm not sure when that's happening, but they would do well to draw on Wilma Liebman's calm demeanor, quiet wisdom, and extensive frontline experience. And I'll close with some comments from Ellen Dannon, who's also here. Wilma Liebman has many accomplishments, but her greatest accomplishment was being civil to people who vilify her. And if some of us remember the slings and arrows that she was wearing a Kevlar vest and was ready. And she's just a real wonderful person, a great friend, and I'm so pleased that she's receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Eileen, who really is the model of a public servant, not to mention a wonderful mediator. I think I learned my very best lessons about mediation from Eileen. I remember one piece of advice in particular that really stands out. You may see the way for the parties to resolve a dispute, but you gotta let them find their way there themselves. That really stuck in my mind. I am sincerely pleased, proud, and deeply touched to receive this honor. I really was quite astonished when Lisa Lynch called me and offered this to me. So I thank you, Lisa, very much, and I thank LERA for this incredible honor. These are days when inspiration is really required, and Lisa, you are an inspiration to me and many others, including, I know, your many students. It is not an easy time to do what you have achieved, being a leader in higher education. And being a dean and being the president of LERA at the same time is really amazing. So congratulations. Thank you very much. I wish Marty Malloy good luck in the coming year. I've already told him to please call me if I need assistance. And I want to acknowledge my gratitude to LERA as an organization with a proud history and a very promising future. I think that the turnout and registration for this meeting, the high quality of the speakers and sessions, the incredible group gathered here today is really a sign of this promising future. I am grateful for the forums that LERA affords all of us to come together from different professions, different aspects of this profession, to come together and share ideas and be able to explore innovation in a very safe kind of forum. So I thank you very much for that. I'm grateful to so many people who have helped me along the way, and from whom I've learned so much. I want to take a risk and just mention a few people. One is Harry Katz. I'm not sure if he's here. I can't really see in the crowd too well. There he is. The Dean of the School of Industrial Labor Relations at Cornell, who took a chance on me and invited me to come and teach at Cornell. And I'm very appreciative of that. And then two prior LERA presidents who have been special friends to me, Tom Koken and Joel Kutcher Gershenfeld. You both are really exceptional, not only in your rigorous scholarship, but in your generosity of your time, your insights, and your friendship. So I thank you very much. A few weeks ago, the 11-year-old son of a friend of mine asked me if he could interview me about being a judge. He had an assignment to write about a profession. So I said to him, I'm not really a judge, I was a quasi-judicial appointment. And plus, I'm not even serving in that capacity anymore. And he said, doesn't matter, just answer these 11. So, two of the questions sort of struck me, and I thought would frame my thinking today. One is, if you had to do it all over again, would you go the same job route? And second, do you need a certain personality to be a judge? So, in answer to the first one, I said, I think it's pretty likely that if I had to do it over again, knowing what I do today, I probably would have chosen something other than the law. But having said that, I think it is without doubt that I've had a very rewarding and challenging legal career. I was certainly very honored to have been asked to serve as a member of the NLRB and to serve as its chairman. I can't claim to have set any records. I wasn't the first woman appointed to the NLRB. I wasn't the first woman chairman. I didn't have the longest term, only the third longest. But I can say that I was the first woman chairman appointed by an African-American president. And I think it's probably pretty safe to say that I was and will be the only member of the NLRB to be described by Sean Hannity as a cuddly collectivist. So, in answer to the question, do you need a certain personality to be a judge? I thought back over my career at the NLRB. I served with 16 different people over almost 14 years. That's lots of different, if not difficult, personalities. I wrote dozens, if not hundreds, of dissenting opinions. I witnessed way too many reversals of majority opinions that I signed. I served during periods of persistent efforts to discredit, defund, and defang this agency and its officials, through periods of rancor and bitter partisan divide and overheated rhetoric. And I thought about that period, and I thought, well, the personality trait that maybe is most needed is a sense of humor. For all of us, I think these are challenging times. And it's hard at times for those of us who are interested in worker rights not to lose hope. But that would be a mistake. And in any event, I think that there are real signs or real chances for optimism at this point. The good news from the past few years is that, and the silver lining of all the political controversy, is that labor law issues, labor policy issues, workers' rights are once again back in the public domain. And I think it's clear that something's happening here. Whether it is college athletes trying to form a union, fast food workers protesting stagnant wages, irregular employment and lack of representation, farm workers long excluded from protections of the law starting to mobilize for change, and auto workers in the South seeking to organize a union and form a German-style works council. All of these things, I think, are grounds for optimism. So, of course, we can't escape right-wing ideology. But for all of us, and especially the young people just beginning their career, I think it is important to remember that our labor laws were the product of fierce struggle. And we honor that struggle when we fight to keep those values and protections alive. Without struggles, there will be no progress. So, although I might have taken a different course if I had to do it all over again, I have no regrets for the paths taken. And I am sincerely delighted and honored to be here today and to be receiving this award. So I thank you all.